Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Recha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of First Chronicles, the 5th chapter, genealogy from Reuben. Now the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, for he was the firstborn, but for as much as he defiled his father's bed, his birthright was given unto the sons of Joseph, the son of Israel. And the genealogy is not to be reckoned after the birthright. Now what this means is, Simeon, being the firstborn, would naturally inherit the birthright, but he slept with his father's concubine. And so that blessing was passed on instead and given to Joseph, which was then passed on to his sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. So when it says, and the genealogy is not reckoned after the birthright, what it means is, as it says in the NLT, for this reason, Reuben is not listed in the genealogical records as the firstborn son, because that birthright didn't go to him for that transgression that he committed. Verse 2, for Judah prevailed above his brethren, and of him came the chief ruler. But the birthright was Joseph's. So even though Judah became like, what you would say, like the head tribe, the birthright was still given to Joseph. Okay. And so interestingly enough, that's why when the kingdom split, you'll see that there'll be mention of Ephraim. And when it says Ephraim, which is in most cases referring to, when it says Joseph, sometimes it's referring to Ephraim. But when it says Ephraim, it's referring to sometimes the northern kingdom, because Ephraim was like, you could say, the head of the northern kingdom, and Judah was like the head of the southern kingdom. That's why the scriptures also mention Judah shall no longer vex Ephraim, and Ephraim shall not envy Judah. And that's referring to the two kingdoms, but it's using Judah and Ephraim. Verse 3, the sons, I say, of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, were Hanok and Palu, Hezron and Carmi. The sons of Joel, Shemaiah his son, Gog his son, Shimei his son, Micah his son, Reiah his son, Baal his son. And Baal just, it means, I believe, what, Lord? Right, or Baal. Yeah, Lord. So it's still a name, right? Usually when you hear Baal or Baalim, which is Baalim, which means lords, which was referencing the idols, right? But those idols had their own names, like Molech and so on and so forth. So seeing this, don't get tripped up and think, oh, Baal. Immediately think of idols. Oh, why is his name Baal? Still a name. Verse 6, Abira, his son, whom Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, carried away captive, he was prince of the Reubenites. So basically during his time of being the head of the Reubenites was when Tiglath-Pileser came and took some of the northern kingdom away captive. Now this was before Shalmaneser V came in there afterwards, and then actually besieged Samaria and then took the bulk of the northern kingdom away captive after that. And his brethren by their families, when the genealogy of their generations was reckoned, were the chief, Jael and Zechariah. So these were the heads. Right. Bera's relatives are listed in the genealogical records by their clans, Jael, the leader, and Zechariah. And Bela, the son of Azaz, the son of Shema, the son of Joel, who dwelt in Aror, even unto Nebo and Baal-Meon. And eastward he inhabited unto the entering in of the wilderness from the river Euphrates, because their cattle were multiplied in the land of Gilead. So just like Abraham and Lot, right? The more they had, the more land they needed. And in the days of Saul, they made war with the Hagarites, who fell by their hand. And they dwelt in their tents throughout all the east land of Gilead. So when you go back, you'll see here that you have Reuben, which is on the east, okay, east of Jordan, right? So you had Reuben over here, you had Gad over here, and then you had the half tribe of Manasseh. And the children of Gad dwelt over against them in the land of Bashan unto Salcah. So that's why you see here, over against them, meaning that they were like bordering with them. Verse 12, Joel the chief, and Shepham the next, and Jaanai, and Shaphat in Bashan. And their brethren of the house of their fathers were Michael, and Meshulam, and Sheba, and Jorai, and Jachan, and Zia, and Heber, 7. These are the children of Abihail, the son of Huri, the son of Jaror, the son of Gilead, the son of Michael, the son of Jeshishai, the son of Jado, the son of Buz, Ahai, the son of Abdiel, the son of Gunai, chief of the house of their fathers. And they dwelt in Gilead and Bashan, and in her towns, and in all the suburbs of Sharon upon their borders. All these were reckoned by genealogies in the days of Jotham, king of Judah, and in the days of Jehoram, king of Israel. So their records were there, as it's recorded here, in the days of Jotham and Jeroboam. The sons of Reuben and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh, of valiant men, men able to bear buckler and sword, and to shoot with the bow, and skillful in war. So they were nice with it, as you would say in modern sense. They were 44,703 that went out to war. So that's, what's that? 44,760 that went out to war. And they made war with the Hagarites, with Jetor and Nephish and Nodab. And they were helped against them. And the Hagarites were delivered into their hand, meaning the Most High helped the Israelites at this point when they went against the Hagarites. As it says, and they were delivered into their hand, and all that were with them. For they cried to God in the battle, and he was entreated of them, because they put their trust in him. And they took away their cattle, of their camels 50,000, meaning the spoil that they took from the Hagarites, and of sheep 250,000, and of asses 2,000, and of men 100,000. For servants, that is. For there fell down many slain, because the war was of God, and they dwelt in their steads until the captivity. So they ended up taking their land. And the children of the half tribe of Manasseh dwelt in the land. They increased from Bashan onto Baal Hermon, and Senir, and onto Mount Hermon. And that's the half tribe of Manasseh over here. And these were the heads of the house of their fathers, even Ephir, and Ishi, and Eliel, and Azriel, and Jeremiah, and Hodaviah, and Jadiel, mighty men of valor, famous men, and heads of the house of their fathers. And they transgressed against the God of their fathers, and went a-whoring after the gods of the people of the land, whom God destroyed before them. So eventually, in due time, Israel started to go off and depart from the Lord. And the God of Israel stirred up the spirit of Pul, king of Assyria, and the spirit of Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, which it's talking about the same person, right? You'll see even in the NKJV, as it says here. So the God of Israel stirred up the spirit of Pul, king of Assyria. That is Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria. It's talking about the same person. Pul is just another name for him that the scriptures attribute to him. And he carried them away, even the Reubenites and the Gadites and the half tribe of Manasseh, and brought them unto Hala and Habor and Hara, and to the river Gozan, unto this day. When you look it up, it'll tell you that he did, Tiglath-Pileser, when he did come into the land, he did end up taking and deporting some Israelites. This was before the actual siege. And that brings us to the end of 1 Chronicles, the 5th chapter. Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodesh. And until next time, Shalom.